All right. I think we're coming on. So you got that view to work, huh, Coach? Oh, we're on live now. You got that view to work?
I did.
We'll do. All right, you guys. We're back with another Coaches Conversation Cafe. We're going off of our normally planned meetings. We usually have some topics that we set out ahead of time, but with everything going on today, actually, I just got an alert message that said for California, at least for the coaches who are here in California, that said something about, I can't pull it up right now, but that we're basically in a mode of operation that says we got to stay at home unless emergency only. And so this time is obviously shifting for everybody as coaches. Our goal here is to try to still serve and bring what it takes to be able to let you know that, man, we're in this together as much as we can't be together physically. We're all trying to stick together, and so this is kind of part of that process. So we're shifting onto that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But um, for you guys, the four of our coaches here today, what are you guys seeing with the shift in sports? What's been your experience? Are you watching people having to do it differently, or since, I guess, really since Monday? That's just yesterday, right? There's kind of been a shift. So what have you guys seen so far?
I haven't seen anything. I haven't actually gone on a field and watched people practice to see how they're doing it differently. So I wouldn't be able to give you much on that. I do know, though, that the kids are frustrated, especially in high school. Some of these seniors that wondering if they're going to have a season or not. So that's a little discouraging, I know, for them.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree. I think also, well, first, good seeing everybody. I think that, I've heard several different things. Like I shared last week, I met with several students, and, part of their concerns is, they're very excited. These are all freshmen, right? So they're freshmen in high school, and they're excited about what this high school experience is going to be like. And to have this sense of uncertainty, you could feel it in the conversation. But I know that right now, more than ever, we need to be here for our coaches. We need to make sure that we're supporting our coaches through this time. I really feel like we're getting close. I know it doesn't sound like it, but when your state shuts everything down for the time being, we definitely got to follow. We got to follow, and we got to make sure that everybody gets that mask on and safety first. We as coaches promote that all the time, safety first in all that we do, and we have to model that. I know that at the junior college level, they're done with football for now. So they're done as of yesterday. They're done up until after the holidays, and then they can kind of gauge it from there. So I'm anticipating, after the alert that we saw today, Isaac, that I'm sure that all the high schools will be shut as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything from you, Keith, on that?
Well, I can speak from having two sons myself that are athletes. Again, yeah, they're a little tired of being confined, of the restrictions, and the uncertainty of what's to come. And they want to get out there and throw the ball. They want to work out. They want to lift. They want to go to the gym. And there's a social aspect that comes with that too, that they're being denied right now. So all of that kind of plays into it. And another thing they struggle with is they think of their commitment to their sport, their particular sport. It's hard enough these days to get these young people to buy into sports, whether high school or even collegiate. And there's so many things pulling at them. So when their sport shuts down, when the activities associated with their sport shuts down, it almost like it makes it triple, quadruple difficult for them to stay committed. Again, with all those things pulling at them. Yeah. So that's, as a parent, I can speak to, and as a coach, I can speak to that personally.
Right. Yeah. So there's a element, I think, of disappointment that's going around, obviously, for the athletes, and And for coaches, I mean, this is, it's a huge part of your lives as coaches. I mean, you probably don't realize how much time you're putting in until you're not putting it in anymore. And so there's a lot of disappointment to spread around. So if we kind of look at, well, I'm disappointed as a coach that I can't proceed, especially like at this time of the year. I mean, what do we know, especially for the high schoolers and the junior colleges? Like there's this time of year brings on a certain kind of atmosphere and feel that goes along with the holidays and all of that. And so disappointment is rampant amongst the situation, the sports. And I want us to be respectful of that, for all of you coaches that are watching. Like, I think us as coaches really understand that. Us as parents, we really understand that. And we want to admit that that's true, that we want to admit that not only do you as coaches have it, for the teams that you're carrying, the athletes that you're caring about, it's there for them too. So very important. I don't want to brush it aside, but I do want to be able to move forward from that. And so what's the shift? What's the mentality? And so we'll talk maybe more about the mentality, because we're going to talk in a little bit about some of the pieces that maybe we can do to deal with the disappointment and how to adjust. But what's the mentality that's needed to make the shift?
Well, it starts with you as the coach, right? It starts with us, and it's important that we lead the way and continue to promote, for our athletes to be positive through this time. Use this time, be constructive, spend time on Zoom. I know that everybody's all zoomed out. As we hear everybody gets frustrated with that. But I tell you what, as a coach, it's very important to stay connected with your players. This gives you an opportunity to do so. It also gives you a time to connect with your parents, to reassure them that we're going to get through this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think that, like Adam said, that one of the biggest things that you've got to do right now as a coach is stay connected with your kids, because they're hurting. They're wondering what's going on. You've got to be that voice that assures them that, hey, we're going to get through this. We're going to get a season one way or another. We're going to do our best that we can do to make that happen. And as coaches, I know, man, it's got to be frustrating when you especially these guys that started and then they're going, and now they think they're going to get into team practices, and then all of a sudden, boom, they get shut down. So now you got to go back to square A and get back in shape again. And so all the ifs, and wondering what you're going to do, but staying positive, stay connected with the kids and the parents, making sure, because as Adam knows with his business, there's a lot of mental health issues going on right now with these kids because of all this. And so we have to stay positive as coaches and stay connected to them and let them know that, hey, we hurt for them just like they hurt, and but we're going to get through this.
Keith?
Yeah, superbly said. I agree 1,000%. And I took the words right out of my mouth. I would just say, maybe since that's been covered well by the two coaches there, I would just say, when this is over, as a coach, be ready to go, be prepared, and that way, when things get back to normal, whatever normal, the new normal looks like, you're prepared, you're ready, be over prepared, and be ready to, and by that, not just X's and O's, not just your game plan, not just your practice plan. Maybe delve into some sort of training, as Coach alluded to with mental health. Maybe get some mental health training on how to deal with young people, young adults, or young kids, athletes, and that's going to prepare you as well. So when they come back, you're well rounded and you're ready to go on all facets of your game.
All right.
And I think
go ahead.
Yeah, I think with coaches too, to keep our players knowing that, hey, stay in top shape, do what you can do at home. If you've got a little gym on your own or whatever you can do, body weight stuff, stay in shape. So when we're ready to go, you're ready to go, because it's going to be a short preseason and we got to be ready to roll. And I think even if coaches can come up with plans to give their players, because some players need a structure, they need some kind of structure where they can follow. And I think that helps keep these kids mentally tuned into what their future holds.
Right. Yeah, I feel like as coaches, if we are able to mentally stay on top of not giving up, right, or thinking like, man, this is a doom scenario. There's a basketball saying for shooters, which is stay ready so you don't have to get ready,
That's right.
right? And so if you could stay ready so that when it's time to take the shot, you're ready for it, But if you're pouting because you didn't get the ball yet, you're not going to be ready for that shot. And so it's the same kind of scenario here is mentally, emotionally, we have to stay ready so that when it's time, we don't have to get ready. But it may never even be time. So, if that doesn't happen, fine, we just stay ready, right? And I think that's really important for us as coaches to keep that mentality. All right, so you guys already started mentioning some sticking together pieces, just some ideas about that. So maybe a couple more ideas about what we have in order to stick together with our teams and even coaches. Like, what are some opportunities for us to stick together in these moments? I know, Coach Buckley, you were talking about being able to come up with some workouts that the players do. Any other ideas?
Well, the only other thing I can think of is, especially with your assistant coaches, maybe through Zoom or what, stay connected, give them assignments like, hey, these are your players. I want you to connect with them once a week, whether it be through Zoom or a phone, telephone, text, whatever it may be, but stay connected with those players, check in on them, see how they're doing, see what, encourage them to keep working out, doing the things that are necessary. I think that's good for coaches to stay connected.
Right.
And then same thing with your players. Even maybe once in a while, I mean, there's some funky stuff out there where you can even do a big Zoom s'mores party, where you get those s'mores out and there's actually a package you can send to people and you just have conversation with it like a family, like you do when you're with your team. You go on outings and the same kind of thing. We got to be creative and do the best we can to keep these kids tuned in. Right. And hopefully that keeps them up a little bit instead of
Yeah, I think specifically, you're right, Coach. I think specifically for your seniors, right?
Yeah.
The seniors are the ones that are really worried. I know I've talked to many of them that are really concerned about even having a season. So it's really important to pull them together now. And like Coach said, I mean, what a great point to be able to have, an open session where you're having s'mores or whatever it might be, but stay connected with your seniors specifically. I just can't emphasize how important that is, especially during this time. Many of them are concerned, but my thought would be create some type of challenge. I think of baseball coaches. You could have a tee challenge. You could have let's get 100 strokes in. Let's see who can get it in the quickest. Or whatever it may be. It could be golf. It could be football, catching the ball, whatever it might be. But I would say this, that many of the players have had an opportunity for the last few weeks to kind of assess where they're at physically, where they're at mentally. If I want that starting spot, I got to put in the extra work. What this means, you have a chance to hit the reset button for a few weeks, get out to the park, do some ladders, do some cones, do some hills, whatever it might be, to prepare yourself for that. So you have an opportunity. There's always a chance to be better. And again, as coaches, we have to promote that. It starts with us. But the last thing I'll say for our coaches, make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves physically, emotionally, because your players are going to look to you. Your parents are going to look to you. It's one thing that we always think our coaches are like, they're the ones, they're leading the ship, they're leading everything. And we got to make sure that we as coaches are taking care of ourselves.
Right. Adam, I want to paint on top of that canvas real quick. You talked about two things of challenge and then taking care of yourself as coaches. And what I would say is it would be a unique thing to challenge yourself as a coach to pick out two areas where that you would like improvement. Maybe my belly's getting too big and I want to improve that.
Challenge,
yeah, maybe that's my improvement. And so
maybe we could do that ourselves, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm already doing it, boys.
Yeah, whatever it is, I want to spend more time in my family doing different areas. It doesn't matter that it's not directly related to sport, but it will affect your ability to coach and love on others. And so if you can find two areas that you would love to grow yourself and challenge yourself and create a challenge amongst your coaches with it. And if it's something that the team can do, then yeah, include the team. But that really grows people as coaches if we can put out challenges for ourselves every week, maybe, something that we just want to do a little bit better. I don't want to eat out this week, just different kinds of things that we can do, little challenges that you can come up with. In fact, get from your assistant coaches something that they're struggling with that they want to put on the challenge table, right? And see if we can challenge ourselves as coaches to get better. I think that the key there is that we're the hub as coaches. Right. And so if we're the hub and we're getting a little bit better, that's infection. That's good infection for the team. Right. And so, yeah, I appreciate you throwing that out there, Adam, because that's something we definitely want, our coaches to be able to look at. Keith, you have any follow up with that?
Well said, everything. Yeah, I agree with it. I like it. And I'm down for the belly challenge. I certainly need it, Staying connected. Yeah, I'll emphasize that. Hold on. I might have.
Staying connected. You're right.
There we go.
Connected. Yeah.
That was a test right there for y'all. You see, I was staying connected. Yeah, staying connected, positive. Maybe finding some sort of hobby as a coach that can, pull your mind away from things and kind of all the negative going on right now. That might help as well, so, and obviously, use this downtime as the coach has already alluded to don't sit on your laurels. Great time to make a personal phone call, maybe to the parents, and let them know just how much you care.
Yeah. I think another thing we might be able to do this season, Christmas season, a lot of people hurting, give out a challenge to your players of maybe how you can serve your community some way, or how what can you do, just to tie in with that, maybe as a team, maybe as a group of people, but how can you serve during this time?
Yeah, it's great.
Prove that we can't be stopped as a team, right?
That's right.
That, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to score no matter what. There's not a field, we're still scoring, right? Like,
Hey, and we're undefeated, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's really the energy that we have to be able to create, and so reaching out is something that all of you guys have mentioned, somehow reaching out. And the one thing that's crossed my mind a lot during this season, I mean, people are getting zoomed out and that kind of thing. There's this old school thing called writing, right? And that's something I used to do a lot in high school because we only had beepers or writing letters. And so I think that's something that can make a comeback. There's nothing like my son. He's only 7, but he enjoys getting letters in the mail. There's nothing like it to him. And so we kind of forget about that. Like, I could write a letter. Yeah. If we're computered out, right. But let's challenge ourselves to be able to reach out in different ways that maybe we're not used to, or that we've kind of moved away from a little bit. Anybody have any follow-up on the reaching out idea? Any ideas?
Yeah, no, I just think that's great. All of you, I mean, really some great points. I think also, the old sending a postcard, sending a postcard to your players and just check it in. These are real simple ideas. It's nothing that it's something you'd be doing anyway if you got to see your players in person. But, I can't emphasize how important it is to stay connected. For example, we're going to be doing a parent workshop coming up here on December 17th for the students who are in the CAST program, their parents. In fact, I got a local partner. We're going to be buying some pizzas for all the families that are participating in this parent workshop. But it's really just more of an in-service type workshop where we're going to share with them all the great resources that are available. And that's something easy as a coach that we can do. Not saying you got to go buy pizzas for everybody, but I am saying that you can get your parents connected, and they want to. They're eager and anxious more than ever to be part of it.
Is it going to be a Zoom pizza?
Yeah, it's going to be a Zoom pizza. The pizza is actually going to be delivered to their homes. Right? You go. And so each, in fact, there's only 8 students in the class.
Yeah.
And also the teachers, they'll all get a pizza sent to them. And through the course of our Zoom meeting, like we are now, they'll be eating while we're talking and sharing the good information. And, that's something very simple. It doesn't even have to be pizza. It could be anything.
Yeah,
But
good
the
deal.
biggest part of this is the parents feel like they're part of something bigger. And, our biggest thing also as coaches is to promote the culture that we want. And now we have an opportunity to do that.
Good.
Really good opportunities, I think, for us to be able to serve each other when it's like that. One thing I'll throw out to coaches, Coach Buckley mentioned about the idea of being able to send out things, and all of us are kind of talking about things like postcards, and what I'll offer to anybody, if you need some kind of direction or design for any of that stuff, I'll be more than willing to send you something over that you can have printed, and we can figure out how to get that done. If you're not as savvy as a coach doing those kinds of things, and you still, in your mind you want to get it done but don't know how, reach out to any of us, and for all of you, I'm willing to direct you on how to do that, as coaches. So the goal is to figure it out. That's, bottom line is we want to be able to figure this situation out. It's not an easy time. There's some things out of our control, but we don't want to stay in that place. We really want to get energized about finding new ways to be able to do it, and to keep scoring.
Yeah. The last thing I want to add to that, Isaac, is many of our high school programs, they have access to Huddle, and I would suggest that as coaches, I know we've spent some time on Huddle. I know Coach Rodriguez. I know he's done many nights of being on Huddle, and what I would suggest is that as coaches, put together your little play script, send it out to your players, and have them start working on that. Get them fluent. Get them fluent on Huddle. So when we get into the season, they're ready to go. And many of them have done that. Many coaches have done that. I've heard of several that have done that, and it's worked out very well. So it's not anything that I'm really creating other than what I've heard. And I know that it's very important, and it's a great tool. And it's something that you can get your players, get them situated and get them ready to go for the upcoming season.
Yeah, coaches, I think this is a good time for you guys to travel too. I mean, and obviously we can't travel physically, but is there a coach across the nation that you really want to get in their practice? This is a good opportunity, because all they have to do is send you a link.
Yep.
So you can start that, and it's possible that, depending on the coach, that you can get your whole team invited in there. And so are you willing to put yourself out there and reach out just to explore, a couple more options? And so this is a perfect time to get around to seeing other things besides, what it is that you do, but then also interviewing other coaches who are not close to us. I mean, everybody's Zooming, so it's not like anybody, people don't have Zoom anymore, or they don't have access to video. Find those opportunities to be able to discuss and have conversation with coaches if possible. So that's kind of the reaching out piece that I wanted to talk about. Any other follow-ups that you guys know you wanted to emphasize before we close out our conversation today?
I just want to let coaches know that we're here for you. This is what we do every Tuesday, and we're here to support you in a way that we can. And if we can help connect the dots, all of us here we're all great resources in terms of who we know and what we know. We like to think that anyway, but I think it's important for us to be able to share all of our good information. We'd love to have you join us anytime, but just know that, we have set this up specifically for coaches and having this conversation. And just remember, it's always a conversation. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, you guys, thanks for joining us today at Coach's Conversation Cafe. We'll see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Take care.